Good morning, guys. I hope you guys are off to a great start. This is Yolanda, and I'm coming to share a little story time with you guys. I want to share with you guys something that happened to me on yesterday. I'm going to get a little personal and I'm laughing because, first of all, I'm laughing because I feel good. Secondly, I'm laughing because I know that everything that I went through on yesterday was only preparing me for a better day today. But on yesterday, before I left the house, I locked myself out of the house. Okay? So my kids were at school and I had to wait my mom to let me in. So that tickled me a little bit. But yeah, I locked myself out of the house. And then after that, I ended up I was running some errands. And in the process of running my errands, I ended up stranded and stuck in the middle of nowhere. And in the process of me being stuck, I began to see a bunch of orange butterflies that were surrounding me in my car as well. Um, I reached out to um to get some help. You know, I had to call a service to come and help me get unstuck. Um, but in the midst of that, the butterflies just kept coming, and in that moment, um, Spirit spoke to me and wanted me to be present in the moment and think about where I was in my life and how far I had come, and to be calm and prepare myself for what's ahead. So after Spirit spoke to me, I calmed down, but I also did something else crazy because I um I thought about it and I was like, I this even though I was in the middle of nowhere, it was beautiful where I was. The weather was nice. The the it was just so peaceful. It was just so peaceful where I was. Like there was no traffic. There was nobody coming to save me. Understand this. There was nobody coming to save me until I called. That's just like that's just like when you need help in your situation, if you don't call on the most high and give him permission to assist you, then that help is not gonna come because I was stuck for over an hour before I was able to find somebody to help me. And in the midst of that, it was crazy because my sister texted me as soon as, and she was like, "Are you okay? I haven't heard from you." And I was like, "Damn, that's crazy." And sometimes we seem to think that nobody checks on me, nobody cares or whatever. But anyway, in that moment, I said, "You know what? This is basically." I need to sit and I need to sit in this and I need to enjoy this moment because I was in nature. I was free. I was safe. I mean, in my in my words, what I thought I was somewhat safe, even though I didn't know where I was. But I decided to take my shoes off and walk in the sand because the sand that I was stuck in, that my truck was stuck in, was super soft. Like it felt like beach sand. And at this point, everything that I was trying to get unstuck, I'm already full of sand, right? So I decided to take my shoes off and I decided to walk. I decided to walk this road full of soft sand until my help came. And I know it might sound crazy, but it brought me so much peace and I was so calm and and when I called for help in the midst of that storm, the Lord still blessed me because when I called for help, the guy didn't charge me originally what they were going to charge. Because originally I was going to have to pay like $130 and I end up only having to pay him $50. I end up only having to pay him $50, but I gave him $60 because that was all the cash that I had on me. I don't normally carry cash. So I was like, oh my God, thank you. Like, can I give you a hug? Like, I really appreciate it because you didn't have to do that. But in the midst of that, like, I literally, like, when he pulled up, I didn't have on no shoes. I didn't have on no shoes and I didn't care because I was being me. And I was getting grounded and bringing myself back down to accepting that the message I got out of that was, of course, we always gonna go through challenges. We are always gonna go through challenges, and I kept seeing the number 1233, and the spirit said adversities are going to show up. So through this path, this journey that we're on called life, things are going to come up. Things are always going to come up. But I'm learning to embrace every struggle along the way. I'm learning to embrace every struggle or challenge that comes up along the way and take over, not let it take over because it only makes you stronger. It only makes you stronger. And I felt like I needed to share this story because I was literally bawling my eyes out, and I cried for about 10 minutes, maybe, but not probably not even 10 minutes. But I was like, no, wait a minute, this is happening for a reason. And even after Mr. Danny, his name was Danny. Even after he pulled me out and got me from being stuck, as I traveled down the highway, these butterflies were by this time it was one, but I wasn't even on the same road that was on when I was stuck and seeing the butterflies at first. I was on a whole different road and there was a butterfly that looked just like the ones that was with me when I was stuck. These butterflies was following me down the highway. They followed me down the highway. And and as I say, it just really reminded me that I'm never alone and I'm I'm always gonna be protected. And also had to remember that happening life is not happening to me. It was happening. Things are not happening to me, they're happening for me. That's what I'm trying to say. I can't get the words out. But in that moment, I literally had to pick up my feelings and understand that things are going to happen and I should not let them get me in a bad mood or ruin my day. I made the best of that moment. I made the best of that moment and took it for what it was and prepared myself for the remainder of my day. I finished my errands. I came home, took care of my family, and I did what I had to do. I still did what I had to do, so there was no regrets. So there's no regrets, only lessons. So in life, we're going to have lessons that lead us to new levels. And we cannot change the things that has already happened. We can only change what's ahead for the better. And I can't say that it's okay to have feelings when you're going through these things now. We are having human experiences. Okay? So mad was an understatement. I was mad for a second. Emotional, because it's okay to be emotional. And terrified of what's next in life. Yeah. But if you made it through all the storms that you've been through before, I promise you, you can make it. I promise you can make it through all that God has in store for you. Not knowing, not knowing where, but it's the same as me not knowing exactly where I, that the location where I was. I didn't know anybody around there, so yeah, I was a little, but in the midst of that, I took my shoes off and I got comfortable because that's what I had to deal with in that present moment. And I accepted that. And if God brought me out of that, and that's just minor, that's just something minor to me because God has brought me out of many, many, many other things. And we ain't gonna get into that today. That's another story for another day. But I really want to remind you that when you do the things that you love and and just love yourself and love others, things will things will always turn out for the better. Because the truth is, what we speak holds power. What we speak holds power. And now that I know that for sure, and I know what my purpose is, it also reminds me that, like, I read something and it stated that we are here to heal, not harm. We are here to love and not hate. We are here to create and not destroy. We are here to shine. So, regardless of what's going on, or if anything is going on, just be present and shine. Be yourself wherever you are, whatever you may be going through. You are not alone. You are not alone. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. And I really hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful day. I love you and continue to love and be loved. And I will talk to you guys later.